Hey, what is going on, everybody? Wednesday, November 13th, 2024. My name is Kevin Smith. Thank you all so much for tuning in to Loud Majority Live. We got a jam-packed show for you guys today. At the moment, we are awaiting both a word from the new Senate Majority Leader, John Thune of South Dakota, and we are awaiting word from the meeting between President Joe Biden and President-elect Donald Trump. We're going to bring you guys all that as it comes in live, so keep it locked in here for that. Also, we got to talk about Army Major Pete Hegseth, or as he will soon be known, Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth. And the media and all the right people are very, 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 very upset about this, which is why I love the pick. Aside from the fact that I think Pete Hegseth will be an absolute savage, he's obviously an outsider to government, an outsider to the Pentagon. It's going to be great. It's going to be absolutely great. Also, we are going to be talking about the creation of DOGE, which is the Department of Government Efficiency, headed by Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy. How much power will they actually have? What will they actually do? We'll talk about all of that. Just knowing that Vivek and Elon are teaming up for a new government department in order to curtail some of the red tape, some of the baloney, some of the nonsense that goes on in our government is incredibly exciting. Also, Bobby Kennedy vows to just fire 600 people on day one of being appointed to wherever the hell it is he is going to be appointed to. And then we're going to talk about, if we have time, we'll see how long these statements go on for. If we have time, we will talk about the Daniel Penny case in New York as it is underway, and body cam footage has been released, basically vindicating this guy. And at the very end of the show today, we are going to bid a fond, admiring, nobody cares farewell to Don Lemon, because Don Lemon decided that he was going to inform all of us that he was leaving Twitter. Don, it's not an airport. You don't have to tell us you're leaving. You can just go. But we are going to talk hubris, we're going to talk arrogance, and we're going to laugh, because let's be honest, who cares about Don Lemon? Who cares about Don Lemon? Before we get started today, though, guys, hit that thumbs up button. Share this video out all over the place. We got big numbers starting off the show already today. I'm liking it. I'm liking it a lot. Giddy up. If you guys are watching on Facebook, do me a favor. Hit the @ button and tag highlights, tag followers so that more people get the show. If you're watching on X, do retweet this so that we can get the word out to everybody. Let's pop this live chat up onto the screen. How is everybody doing today? Look, I'm not excited about John Thune. I'm not. I'm not gonna sugarcoat this. He's kind of a douche, but I will say that this was inevitable. This was, as far as I could see, pretty much inevitable that he was going to be the Senate Majority Leader. Unfortunately, many of these things comes down to fundraising, and John Thune is connected with oil money and natural gas money in South Dakota. It just is what it is. Janet, how are you? Marissa, how are you? Jeanette, what's going on? Karma, how are you? Well, let's jump on over to the live chat also real quick. Give me 1 sec before we jump into the live chat. Let me make sure we are on track here. Yes, once again, still waiting for John Thune to come out. As I'll show you guys, we are ready to go for what comes next here. We are awaiting the press conference following the election of John Thune. It was a narrow victory. It was definitely a absolutely narrow victory. Janet, did you just tag Donald Trump? I like that. One can dream. Absolutely. Let's get this live chat back up onto the screen. Also, for my local audience, in case you have not seen, Just in case you guys have not seen, let's see it. Boom, boom, boom. There we go. Bam, pop that up there. Just in case you guys haven't seen yet, let's get that up there. We are going to be having our next Long Island Takeover rally this Saturday at 12 noon at the Ronkonkoma train station. Oh, crap. Let me pump. Boop. There we go. Let's get that where it's supposed to be. Our next Long Island Takeover will be this weekend, Saturday, November 16th, at the Ronkonkoma train station. For all my local viewers out there, please, if you are watching this on any of our local Loud Majority pages, take that flyer. It's right on the Facebook page. Hit the share button at your friends so that they all can see it too. That's for our locals. That's for our local audience. Once again, we are awaiting the John Thune interview. We'll bring that to you as soon as it comes live. But let's dive right in, because there actually is more breaking news at this hour. Jack Smith has announced he is set to resign before the Trump inauguration. Oh, yeah. Go, yeah. Later, bro. Special counsel Jack Smith, who's brought the two federal indictments, is from the Post-Millennial, against former President Trump in the years between the president-elect's first and second term, plans to resign along with members of his team before the Trump inauguration. People familiar with Smith's plans said that Smith's goal is, quote, to not leave any significant part of his work for others to complete, and to get ahead of the president-elect's promise to fire him within 2 seconds of being sworn in. Sources say that Smith's office is writing up plans for how to wind down the cases, and that things like judicial rulings could alter that timeline. Smith has already reportedly told prosecutors and FBI agents on his team, who are not directly involved in the department's required process of issuing a final report summarizing the investigation, that they could start planning for their departures over the course of the next 2 weeks. Yep, so just as we've been saying, this was all political from the start. Because if it wasn't political, why would he be resigning? He would want, as a good prosecutor would, he would want to finish out what he started. But, alas, it is not. The January 6th case had filing deadlines set for November and December, as the question of whether or not Trump's actions at the center of the case were official or unofficial, coming after the Supreme Court ruling said that the presidents have immunity for official acts. In the days after the election, however, Smith asked Judge Tywa Chutkan to vacate the deadlines to afford the government time to assess this unprecedented circumstance and determine the appropriate course going forward, consistent with department policies. The Mar-a-Lago case had been dismissed by Eileen Cannon in July, but the decision had been appealed to the federal Atlanta judge. The reports, which Attorney General Merrick Garland has signaled intentions to release to the public, are required to contain why the special counsel filed the charges they did, and why they did not pursue other charges that were considered. The report must also be reviewed by the U.S. intelligence agencies for any classified information, which could delay the report. Yep. So, as we knew, upways, downways, sideways, and backways, this was nothing but politics from the start. They were banking on President Trump losing, and if they had come to that unfortunate and very improbable outcome, Donald Trump would have spent the rest of his life in jail. Now people understand why we fought so hard to get President Trump elected, to stop the weaponization of our government, to stop the prosecution of political opponents. This stuff cannot end soon enough. The last bastion we have of bipartisanship or ethic or moral we had in this country was the justice system, but the Democrats have done everything imaginable to tarnish a 250-year-old system that, quite frankly, was the envy of the world. All for political gain. Luckily, you, the American people, said no. We collectively said no. And now Jack Smith should run and hide. Run and hide, Jackie boy. Because quite frankly, look, before this, he was I believe he was a lawyer at The Hague, which is the International Criminal Court. That's where much of his prosecutions came from. So I got to be honest with you, I don't really care what the rest of the world thinks about the American judicial system. Jack Smith, go away. Go away. We've got no time for you. And nobody wants you here. Nobody wants you here. You can't sit with us. Your attempts have failed. Donald Trump wins again. Donald Trump wins again. But to the breaking news over the course of the last several hours, since last night, I should say, Donald Trump has appointed, unbelievably, incredibly, phenomenally, Pete Hegseth to lead the Department of Defense. Before we get to that, guys, hit that thumbs up button. Share this video out all over the place. I'm really excited about the Pete Hegseth appointment for a number of reasons. For a number of reasons, which I'll get to throughout this story. And not because he's a Fox News host, not any of that crap, but because he's an outsider. But we'll dive into more of those details in a second. And we got this from the Post Millennial. President Trump has named Fox News' Pete Hegseth as the head of the Department of Defense. Giddy up, let's go. Giddy up, let's go. I'm jacked. Absolutely. Here was his statement. I am honored to announce that I have nominated Pete Hegseth to serve in my cabinet as the Secretary of Defense. Trump said in a statement, Pete has spent his entire career as a warrior for our troops and for our country. Pete is tough, smart, and a true believer in America first. With Pete at the helm, Americans' enemies are on notice. Our military will be great again. America will never back down. Pete is a graduate of Princeton University and has a graduate degree from Harvard. He is an Army combat veteran who did tours in Guantanamo Bay, Iraq, and Afghanistan. His actions on the battlefield, he was decorated with 2 Bronze Stars, as well as a combat infantryman's badge. He was Pete has been the host of Fox News for 8 years, where he used his platform to fight for the military. Pete's recent book, The War on Warriors, spent 9 weeks on the New York Times bestseller list, including 2 at number 1. The book reveals the left-wing betrayal of our warriors and how we must return our military to a meritocracy, lethality, accountability, and excellence. Pete has also led 2 veterans advocacy organizations, leading the fight for our warriors and our great veterans. Nobody fights harder for our troops. Pete will be a courageous and patriotic champion of our strength through peace policy. Of course, many of you know Pete Hegseth from his time hosting Fox and Friends weekends, for which he has been doing since 2014. Now, look, I want to be clear. All those things are true about Pete Hegseth, and all those things are great. Combat veteran, Bronze Star, Army Major. Love it. Love every bit of it. But if we go back to what Donald Trump said about Liz Cheney, this is what indicates Trump's I wouldn't say new policy, but his newfound idea of peace through strength. When he talked about Liz Cheney, he said, you know what? She probably would be for a lot less war if the bullets were flying at her head. And then the media tried to lie and say that he wants Liz Cheney on a firing squad. Of course, that's not what he said in any way, shape, or form. What he said was it's real easy to ship bombs overseas when you're not the one getting shot back at, Liz Cheney. Pete Hegseth, as the Secretary of Defense, understands what it's like to have somebody shooting back at him. And understands that war should be the last possible resort at all times. And in a world mired in turmoil, whether it's China, Taiwan, Russia, Ukraine, Israel, Gaza, war should be the last possible thing you do. But not amongst these people. They say every general dies fighting the last war. And they're correct. If you guys go back to generals of the past, the heads of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, picture under John F. Kennedy. All they wanted him to do was invade Cuba. And John F. Kennedy said no. We're not doing it. We are not going to issue first strike on the Soviet Union. Because war begets more war. Death begets more death. And it is so great to have a combat veteran in there. And look, have the generals of the past been combat veterans? Absolutely. Absolutely they have. And I take nothing away from them in that regard. However, having somebody who has planned to not make a career out of the military in this sort of sense, to rise through the political ranks. I think it might have been General Flynn. I could be wrong. I could be wrong about this. It might have been General Flynn that said, as soon as you get stars on your shoulder, you become a politician. Because all of your appointments are done politically. And he's right. But that is not why I love the Pete Hegseth appointment. That is not why. The reason I love it is because of the people who hate it. The reason I love it is because of the people who hate it. Do you know who hates it? The liberal media, defense contractors, idiots who have never seen a battlefield before, idiots who live under the blanket of freedom provided by other people with no respect whatsoever for those who provide it. We got a big audience today, so I want to make sure I say once again, Happy Veterans Day. I know it was a couple days ago, but we got a big audience today. People are beginning to lose their minds over this. Absolutely lose their mind. And naturally, when we look for the person with the absolute concrete 100% worst takes imaginable, we must, of course, go to, that lady who got famous for being in that movie about the girl who was trying to have sex with the dead guy. Yeah. Hey, Whoopi, what do you got to say?
Children, would you, if it meant not seeing
I
your children?
appreciate the voters, but I will say, somebody who tells me that my child
That's the wrong Whoopi Goldberg clip. Hang on a minute. Give me 1 second here. Gotta find it. I uploaded the wrong one. Whoops. Give me 1 second here. Before we get to that, guys, Mike Lindell.
You're still looking good.
I'm still feeling good. I've got all your MyPillow products. Mattress topper, bed sheets, MyPillows, towels, slippers, blankets, sleepwear, dog beds.
Whoa, Charles. Everyone now can get MyPillow products at huge discounts at MyPillow.com. That's right. Now's the time to go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to take advantage of our 3-in-1 sale. We're bringing you exciting new products, overstock specials, and closeout deals you won't find anywhere else. For example, when you buy one of our brand new MyPillow 2.0s, you get another one absolutely free. And with our overstock sale, you save 50% on our luxurious Giza Dream bed sheets. That's as low as $29.99 for the best sheets ever. And with our biggest closeout special, you get our all-season slippers for only $35. Or our sandals and slides for just $25. Quantities are limited, and once they're gone, they're gone.
Guys, head on over to MyPillow.com, promo code LOUD. That's MyPillow.com. Promo code LOUD for up to 80% off everything on the website. That's MyPillow.com, promo code LOUD. So, now that I've got the right clip queued up, here is Whoopi Goldberg obviously giving the incorrect take, and I'm going to lose my mind after I play you this clip, so just hang out real quick. Here we go.
That's not true.
So is this the guy who's qualified to make decisions about the most powerful military in the world, who clearly does not know anything about the military?
And also I feel insulted. I'm a morning TV host, and I've been here the longest.
Yes.
Where's my ambassadorship to Italy, Donald? Was it something I said?
Beyond what he's saying just about women, the scary part is the Secretary of Defense is the highest-ranking member of the federal cabinet, and there is a budget of $841 billion. It's the largest government agency. It operates 4,800 sites in over 160 countries, and as someone who right now, we stand here with a country that has a lot of turmoil in the Middle East, in Russia and Ukraine, even in Asia with China, it makes me more than a little worried that you're picking someone who has, he served for 5 or 6 years. He was mid-ranking, never has worked in the government. And you can say the government's bureaucratic and get an outside person that's going to clean it up, but it hasn't been cleaned up yet. And therefore, you have to understand the place you're going into to operate it at its most efficient capacity. So it's alarming.
Thank you, Sarah Haynes, whatever the hell your name is, blonde chick whose hair is clearly pulled back too tight on ABC, who doesn't have the slightest idea what she's talking about. Whoopi Goldberg, are you kidding me? Multiple combat deployments. Doesn't have any idea about the military? How do you fit balls that big into those fat ass pants to say that Army Major Pete Hegseth, multiple time deployed, Bronze Star recipient, doesn't know anything about the military, but you sit there on morning television looking like Predator, and you're going to say something? And Sarah Haynes, okay, first off, I want to thank you for informing us that the Pentagon is the largest area of the United States government, just in case everyone watching your show is retarded and doesn't know that. But that's what these idiots think about their... Did you know? Did you guys know the Pentagon has a big budget? Yeah. Let me get out my my American history textbook. These have got to be. And look, I am not trying to disparage a group of people when I say this, but these have got to be a gaggle of the 5 stupidest women in America. Seriously, I've long said, I would have no problem voting for a woman for president, just not the last 2 they put up. But did ABC get together and they were like, can we find 5 of the most basic bitches that have ever lived? The Pentagon has got a big budget. Oh, Lord. First off, I would much rather have somebody from the outside rather than Lloyd Austin, who's more worried about how many drag queen shows he can fit into a Navy base. I would much rather have that. I can't wait. Maybe things will be a little bit different, shaking things up a little bit. But that is not why I love this pick. That is not why I love this pick. Sure, has it upset Joy Reid? Has it left Rachel Maddow befuddled? Does it make Whoopi Goldberg confused about her extensive military knowledge? Like she's, General Westmoreland or something out there. Meanwhile, she can barely walk her fat ass out to the table every day. Do I love all that stuff? Yes. Am I a fan of Pete Hegseth in general? Absolutely. But that's not why I love the pick. Here is why I love the pick. Because it turns out in an interview with Politico, many of the people who work in the defense contracting industry are real pissed off at this pick. We're going to get to that in 1 second. Before we do, guys, hit that thumbs up button. Share this video out all over the place. We got some big number today. I'm liking it. How many people are watching this show for the first time today? I guess I want to thank Jeremy for the shout. Oh, let me pop this down. How many of you watching this for the first time today? I want to welcome you all into the Comedy Hour here on LFA TV, 1 p.m. Eastern, every single day, where I laugh, where I like to have fun, where I like to make fun of stupid people on television, which is really my job. Really, my job is to, every morning at 11 o'clock, I turn on The View and I cut up the stupidest thing that they said for the day, and then I get angry about it and I yell at my camera. That's what I do. So I hope you guys are all having a good time today. What's up, Marissa? You having way too much fun in the chat, and I'm liking it. Way too much fun in the chat. Q1Q, what's going on? Friend of Trump, how are you? Nancy, what's happening? Conservative Autumn, of course, I'm saying hello to you. Hello, hello, hello. I do like to have a little bit of fun with the idiots on television. Sly ordered their Trump wrapping paper yesterday. Thank you very much. You guys can pick that up along with this Trump fight shirt, baby. You guys can get that over at loudmajorityusa.com, but we'll go over that a little bit later. We'll go over that at the end of the show, as we normally do. LoudMajorityUSA.com. Welcome all the newcomers to the Loud Crowd. Tina McCandles. Kevin, you cracked me up. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I try. That's what I do. Yes, Whoopi Goldberg looks like Predator. That is an objective statement. I'm not going to quote what Arnold Schwarzenegger said at the end of that movie. However, chat, if you would like it, you can check that out there. Patriotic Lady, yes, you can get Trump wrapping paper over at loudmajorityusa.com. That's something you guys should check out. Absolutely. Basic bitches will go down as one of the funniest things said on this program. Well, that's what come on, guys. You gotta, look, we live in trying times, all right? We live in trying times, and sometimes you gotta laugh a little bit. You gotta laugh a little bit, because, if not, you're gonna cry. If not, you're gonna cry. Let's dive right on back into it, baby. Let's dive right back into it. As we await something is happening here? I don't know. Looks like people are walking around in the Senate. Looks like a lot of, something's happening. Nope, that was J.D. Vance walking through. Never mind. We are awaiting the John Thune press conference. The new Senate Majority Leader will bring you that live as it happens. We'll bring you guys that live as it happens, because a lot is going on. A lot is going on in D.C. right now. Reporters are freaking out. However, there is... we got to get to this. Coming from a defense contractor, why I like the pick so much. It's because one person who works for an anonymous, who works for defense contractor, said, "Who the F is this guy?" As the defense world reacts to Trump's surprise Pentagon pick. National security officials and defense analysts have braced for surprises from Trump after experiencing his first 4 years. But even grading on that curve, they say the announcement of Fox News host and decorated Army veteran Pete Hegseth caught them all off guard. Trump put the highest value on loyalty, said Eric Edelman, who served in the Pentagon's top policy official under the Bush administration, said in the interview, "It appears that one main criteria is being used. How well do people defend Trump on television? One assessment was more blunt. Who the F is this guy?" said a defense industry lobbyist who was granted anonymity to offer his candid views. The lobbyist said that they had hoped for someone who had actually had extensive background in defense. So what you mean is, you wanted someone that would continue to do your bidding. You wanted somebody that you had in your pocket. You wanted somebody that would continue to fight these nonsense wars all over the world. To continue to line the pockets of Boeing and Raytheon and Lockheed Martin. The pick will do a little to quell fears inside of the Pentagon and beyond that Trump, who jousted with his own defense secretary's plans this time to install a loyalist who will unquestionably carry out his policies. Politico, as Dan Bongino calls it, bullshitico. You're really doing yeoman's work here, I gotta say. Late in Trump's first term, Trump also ordered the pullout of thousands of U.S. troops from Germany, something the Pentagon was unable to accomplish in the short time he had left in office. Why? Why do we still have troops in Germany? I'm going to tell you why. A little nugget for you guys. Little nugget. Did you know that the United States Department of Defense is 3% of Germany's entire GDP? That's right. We have so many troops still in Germany from 1945 that if America pulled out of Germany, Germany might go into a recession. That's how many troops we have there. Where American dollars go to American soldiers in Munich and Berlin and Cologne and all their other towns. And then those American dollars get spent at German markets and at shops and on German cars, German homes. 3% of Germany's entire gross domestic product is American service members. I don't know, maybe, and I'm just throwing this out here, maybe we could take that 3% and, I don't know, put it in Laredo, Texas. Put it at Eagle Pass. Put it at the border of Arizona. I don't know. Maybe we could put it on the subway so that people will stop getting raped. Boom. What a thought. Because, do you know, and I've said this for quite some time, and I know the America First crowd will agree with me on this one, the best way for Americans to stop dying in third world shitholes is to not have them there. Just a thought. Just, look, I understand. Look, I've never served in the military, and I thank anyone who has. You've done more for this country than I could ever dream of doing. However, there's a real easy way to not die in Lebanon. And that's by not being in Lebanon. Because it turns out we're not going to fix it. We're not going to fix it. Especially after we got reports last week that Americans are now sending contractors into Ukraine. What could possibly... Oh, hold on. I think something's happening here. As we await Senate Majority Leader John Thune coming out, we've got that queued up. All the cameras seem to be doing something here. There we go, guys. Here is new Senate Majority Leader John Thune.
We have the team assembled. Good afternoon, and thank you all for being here. It's a new day in the United States Senate, and it's a new day in America. The American people have loudly rejected the failed policies of the Biden, Harris, Schumer agenda. And this Republican team is united. We are on one team. We are excited to reclaim the majority and to get to work with our colleagues in the House to enact President Trump's agenda. We have a mandate from the American people, a mandate not only to clean up the mess left by the Biden, Harris, Schumer agenda, but also to deliver on President Trump's priorities. We will make sure that the President and his team have the tools and the support that they need to enforce border security laws and to remove the violent criminals who are wreaking havoc in every one of our states. We will work to make America prosperous again by streamlining the bureaucratic machine and overturning costly Biden-Harris regulations. And we will work to restore American energy dominance. Not just our energy security, but energy dominance, which will lower costs and bolster our national security. I'm excited to get to work with this team right away. And I want to thank my colleagues who placed their faith in me to serve as leader, and to those who were supporting another candidate. I promise to be a leader who serves the entire Republican conference. We will have an ambitious agenda, and we'll take each and every Republican working together to be successful. With that, I want to turn things over to Senator John Barrasso, the newly elected Republican whip.
Thank you. On election night, America saw the remaking of the Republican Party for the better. This election was about the answering to the question of, are you better off now than you were 4 years ago? And the American people said no. Only 1 in 4 Americans thought that the country was heading in the right direction. And you've seen the Republican Party grow in terms of hardworking middle-class families, in terms of minorities, in terms of young people, in terms of families struggling to get by. In the last 3 weeks before the election, I was all over the country with President Trump, with J.D. Vance, as well as a number of our Senate candidates. One of the stories that stuck with me was a woman in Michigan who talked about the fact that she was embarrassed to let her husband know that she had to go to the local food bank in order to get by. Republicans listened to those stories. Democrats were focused on President Trump. Republicans were focused on the needs of the American people, people who wanted to get prices down, wanted to secure the border, wanted us to unleash American energy, people who wanted to make America look and be strong once again around the world. That's what the Republicans listened to, that's what we're responding to, and we are now working together to make sure we can put America back on track.
The newly elected Republican Conference Chair is the Senator from Arkansas, Senator Tom Cotton.
Thank you, Senator Thune. I'm looking forward to working with Senator Thune and the rest of this leadership team. I'm very grateful for the confidence that my peers placed in me. We all remember what it was like when President Trump was in office and we had Republicans in charge of the Senate. We had low prices, we had high wages, we had a secure border, we had a strong military, we had a peaceful, stable world. Starting on January 3rd, that's what we'll all be working to build again with President Trump, with Mike Johnson, and the rest of the House Republicans on behalf of the American people. Thank you all.
Thanks, Tom. The newly elected Republican Policy Chair is the Senator from West Virginia, Senator Shelley Moore Capito.
Thank you, and congratulations to our new leader, John Thune. He will be a strong voice, as he has been in the past, as the whip, and I look forward to serving with him and with all of our leadership team. I want to thank the others that ran. We had a really strong, healthy discussion, and we've all come out united and friends. And one of the people that was in our discussion is one of the people that is going to, although he didn't say anything, his presence was very much felt, and that is the Vice President-elect, J.D. Vance. I think the fact that he not only was a voting member of our conference, but also in there with us every step of the way to make sure that the direction that we're going to go as a united conference, and with me leading the policy issues and all of us working together, that we're going to have a united voice. And I'll say one thing about the election. I've said this on all my local stations. What I think the biggest issue was, and there are big ones, border and national security and others, it is literally the American family, the mom and the dad, the grandmother, whoever it is, going to the grocery store. We do it all the time, every week, and we could see, all of us could see, the escalating costs of something so very basic to us, just the cost of food, and hearing from the Vice President in her campaign, the economy's doing great, don't worry. And so we hear those voices, we hear them loud and clear, and those are the voices that we're going to respond to, along with President Trump, through the next several years.
Thanks, Shelley. The newly elected Senate Republican Conference Vice Chair is the Senator from Oklahoma, Senator James Lankford.
Hey, congratulations to John Thune. We're looking forward to his great leadership there. Republicans were asked a very simple thing. Can you get us back on track? Over 70% of the country right now believes the country is on the wrong track. Our task is going to be very, very simple: to defend our values, to be able to strengthen us as a nation, and to be able to bring prosperity to people that are really struggling right now. That's a primary issue for us, and all of those things are things that we're going to get onto immediately, because the American people have spoken and said we do not like the direction that the country is going, so let's get us back on a better direction. So this leadership team, President Trump, J.D. Vance, we're headed in a direction to be able to get the country back on the track that she is looking for.
Thanks, James. And the newly elected chairman of the Senate National Republican Senatorial Committee Chair is the senator from South Carolina, and he is already planning on expanding our majority in 2026. So, Senator Tim Scott.
Hey, brother. Without any question, President Trump set out to make sure that Americans felt like this country and the American dream was alive and well and there for them. From the border to fixing the economy, to solving the issue of crime and restoring confidence on the global stage, President Trump has been very clear on his agenda. Our goal with our leader, John Thune, is to make sure that we achieve those objectives. My passion is making sure that we defend our current seats and expand the map and expand our majority so that President Trump does not have 2 years with a Republican majority in the Senate, and he has 4 years in control of making sure that America's agenda comes home to each and every household.
Couple quick questions.
Do you have any concerns about President Trump's cabinet picks so far, and what advice will you give him when it comes to choosing nominees who will pass Senate confirmation?
Well, as you know, the Senate has a advise and consent role under the Constitution, so we will do everything we can to process his noms quickly, get them installed in their position so they can begin to implement his agenda.
Leader Thune, you've said that recess appointments are on the table. That's a key demand from President-elect Donald Trump. Will you move forward with that?
Well, what we're going to do is make sure that we are processing his nominees in a way that gets them into those positions so they can implement his agenda. How that happens remains to be seen. You know, obviously, we want to make sure our committees have confirmation hearings like they typically do, and that these nominees reported out to the floor. But I've said this, and I mean it, that we expect a level of cooperation from the Democrats to work with us to get these folks installed. And obviously, we're going to look at explore all options to make sure that they get moved and that they get moved quickly.
Will the legislative filibuster remain unchanged under your tenure?
Yes.
How do you intend to balance maintaining the independence of the Senate with passing the president-elect's agenda?
Well, I mean, the Senate, as you know, is by the founders' design, a place where the minority has a voice in our process. And we will do the job that the founders intended us to do in the United States Senate and that the American people intend us to do. And that, right now, after this mandate election coming out of the American people, is to work with this president on an agenda that unwinds a lot of the damage of the Biden-Harris-Schumer agenda and puts in place new policies that will move our country forward in a different direction.
All right, so that was the new Senate Majority Leader, John Thune. I don't know about you guys. I don't know how you felt about any of that. A lot of it seemed like cookie-cutter nonsense to me. But I will say one thing. I will give him credit for one thing. When he said it's great to be joined here by the senator from South Carolina, all I immediately thought was, no, not Lindsay, not Blanche Dubois from A Streetcar Named Desire. Oh, I do declare. Just come out of the closet already, Lindsay. I mean, nobody cares anymore. Just do it. Be your true self, okay? Like Democrats say. Be your true self. Guys, we're going to talk more about this in a second before we do that.
The biggest benefit, honestly, has been with my skin. Skin was more hydrated, more radiant.
This is the best superfood that you could take.
It has all the essential nutrients you need for your skin, your gut, energy, focus, mood, performance.
My hair has gotten so much thicker ever since taking this.
I used to have a probiotic, a green juice that replaced it all with this Armra colostrum. It is amazing.
You gotta take it.
If you want to try it, try armra.com.
Guys, head on over to tryarmra.com/LFATV. That's tryarmra.com/LFATV to get 15% off. Start feeling better today with the superfood formula over at tryarmra.com/LFATV. Let's get that live chat up on the screen. How's everybody doing today? We got big numbers today. We got big numbers. Kevin, stand-up comedy is going to be your gig. Actually, I used to do stand-up. I did it for about 2 years in my early 20s. It was the most fun time of my life. It was actually the most fun time of my entire life. Thought about doing it again. I got to be honest with you. Every day, somebody thought about doing it every day. It's a lot of fun. No better feeling on planet Earth than doing stand-up comedy. We have huge numbers on the Rumble side today, guys. Let me know if it's your first time watching the Loud Majority live as we rock, as we roll. Let's make SNL funny again. Yes. Is that legal with the seats that still need to be filled? Seems off. Barb, no. The Senate, all those votes came down with the new senators in place. They all came down with the new senators in place. So McCormick and Justice and Bernie Moreno and they all voted. They all voted for that. So it was all the new people. Kevin, what's going to be your government job? I'd like to be deputy director of taking naps. That would be nice. If I could get that gig, that wouldn't be terrible. Deputy director of putting your feet up. That seems pretty good. I think I would do really well at that. Other than that, I think I'd be all right. I've worked in government before, and look, I don't know if hell exists, but working in government, that might be it. That might be it. Dying a slow death in a windowless committee room in Albany, New York is certainly my version of hell. So, little rough. A little bit rough. Once again, guys, hit that thumbs up button. Share the video out all over the place because we got to talk about, 400 rumbles. Let's see here. What do we got? Somebody said Mophead is on. I don't know what that means. What does that? Oh, is that the press briefing? Is the press briefing on? Is that what I'm being told right now? The press briefing? Oh, Jake Sullivan's up. All right, you know what? Let's throw it to the White House press briefing.
Force America's leading role in the Indo-Pacific. And over the last 4 years, he has markedly enhanced our strategic position in this vital region, from our treaty alliances to AUKUS to the Quad to the historic trilateral with Japan and Korea. And with respect to that trilateral, he will meet with President Yoon of South Korea and Prime Minister Ishiba of Japan to celebrate the historic cooperation between our three nations and discuss the importance of institutionalizing the progress we've made so that it carries forward through the transition. While in Lima, President Biden will also meet with President Xi Jinping of the People's Republic of China. This will be the third in-person meeting between the two leaders since President Biden came into office, and their final meeting as presidents. They previously met, as you know, in Bali in 2022 at the G20 summit, and at Woodside, California, near San Francisco in 2023 on the margins of the APEC summit, which was exactly 1 year and 1 day ago. And throughout his time in office, President Biden and his team have worked to effectively and responsibly manage the competition between the United States and the PRC. The president's approach on the PRC has prioritized investments in sources of American strength.
Oh, never mind. I don't really want to hear Jake Sullivan talk. If Karine Jean-Pierre comes back, we'll be sure to bring that. Oh, by the way, and just so you guys are fully aware, just so you're fully aware, if the rumors are true that Elena Haba may become the press secretary, I can promise you one thing. You're going to see a lot more of the press briefings on this show. That's for damn sure. So, I'm sure many of you don't need to be told why. We'll just leave that alone. I'm sure you guys can figure that one out all on your own. But let's talk about Doge, baby. Before we get to that, guys, head on over to loudmajorityusa.com. That's loudmajorityusa.com. Sign up for our newsletter. Check out the shop. That is the best way to support this show and everything we've got going on over here. Let's pop. Oh, look at this. Look at all this good stuff. Actually, as a matter of fact, I want to show you guys the new one. I want to show you guys the new shirt that we just made up yesterday. You're going to want this. It's exclusive. The only place you're going to get it is on the website. So when you come to the rallies, people are going to say, hey, where did you get that? You're going to say, oh, I got it on the Loud Majority website. We've got the obvious right at the very top here. The We Are the Loud Majority logo with the red taking over the entire map, and then, of course, the Trump 47 on the back. We've got them in every size, every color, all the way up to 5X for you giants out there. Guys, so much good stuff over there. I saw some people before talking about the Trump wrapping paper. We got that right here. Boom, the I'll Be Home for Christmas Trump wrapping paper. I tell you, whoever puts this website together is awesome and probably really cute, too. Just saying. Just saying. Guys, get your dark MAGA hats. We got so much good stuff over here. Let's keep on scrolling. Look at this. All the Christmas goodies. Giddy up. Let's go. We've got the new Kids Raised Right long sleeve shirt. Oh, yeah. Send your kids to school looking good. Send your kids to school looking good. Guys, go to loudmajorityusa.com. That's loudmajorityusa.com. Sign up for the newsletter. Check out our shop. That's the best way we support this show. So, Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy will be heading up a new government program called DOGE. That would be the Department of Government Efficiency. Yeah, I am pleased to announce, said President Trump, that the great Elon Musk will be working in conjunction with American patriot Vivek Ramaswamy, who will lead the Department of Government Efficiency. Together, these two wonderful Americans will pave the way forward for my administration to dismantle government bureaucracy, slash excess regulations, and cut wasteful expenditures essential to the Save American movement. This will send shockwaves through our system and anyone involved in government waste, which is a lot of people, stated Elon Musk. Vivek Ramaswamy reacted to the news saying, "We will not go gently." Now, you may be asking, what are some of the things that would be considered government waste? Well, here's a new budget. Here's some of the things inside of the new budget that they're trying to ram through before the end of the term. Here's Jesse Waters.
There's an old saying, nothing good happens after 2 a.m. Well, this morning at 2:23, Congress released a monster 1,012-page bill with $1 trillion price tag. They're rushing to pass the bill before you have a chance to read it. Why? Well, because it's full of pork. And we've been digging through it, and here's what you're paying for. Liz Warren is spending $850,000 on a gay senior citizen home in Boston. Florida has the villages, Massachusetts has the village people. We're spending $15 million to pay for Egyptians' college tuition. Egyptian tuition, not Egyptians who live in America, Egyptians in Egypt. Egyptian tuition. So we pay for illegals to go to college here, and now we're paying for the tuition before I guess they even cross the border. Speaking of Egypt, Gold Bar Bob's sending $400,000 to a gay activist group that teaches elementary school kids about being trans. Not enough to keep you out of jail, Gold Bar. Sorry. Another $400,000 goes to a group that gives clothes to teens that help them hide their gender, like chest binders and tuckums. Parental permission not required. Even Dianne Feinstein, who unfortunately passed away long before the bill was written, has an earmark from the grave. $500,000 for a DEI zoo. The San Diego Zoo's getting $500,000 for an anti-racist nature appreciation program where high school kids from diverse backgrounds can observe wildlife. Why do they need $500,000 to go to the zoo? Tickets are like $15. That should be enough for every congressman, especially the Republicans, to vote no. But this massive bill will probably be on Biden's desk this weekend, and he'll just sign your money away. Poof.
Poof. First off, a couple of things here before we wrap up for the day. Number one, Bob Menendez shouldn't be giving away any money but the money that he took from the Egyptians, you know, in the form of gold bars and a Mercedes. Because even he knows the American dollar is absolute crap. And how does Dianne Feinstein get $500,000 in earmarked money? She's dead. She died. And she's still costing the taxpayer $500,000 for a DEI zoo? I don't even know what the hell that means. First off, I've been to the San Diego Zoo. It's absolutely beautiful. There's no need. We need to give it more money. Even though I got to be honest with you, zoos are kind of weird. I don't know how I feel about them. You know, majestic animals in cages. And I don't know how I feel about that. It's weird. You ever look at a lion at the zoo? It just looks sad. And don't get me started on SeaWorld. Don't get me started. Guys, it's 2 o'clock. I want to thank everybody so much for tuning in. As always, we had huge numbers today. I hope you guys enjoyed Loud Majority Live here at 1 p.m. every single day. We like to laugh. We like to get silly. Giddy up, let's go. Well, what did we get to? 430 rumbles. That means we're hitting 450 by the end of the show. I'm liking it. I'm liking it a lot. Love Big Kev. Love you too, Barb. Guys, I will catch you guys back live tomorrow. Ryan Mata coming up next here on LFA TV. Guys, loudmajorityusa.com. Go there right now. Check out all the good stuff. I'll catch you live tomorrow. Until then, everybody, stay loud.